Florence Reset 2025, it's the last day of the year. For you to understand my main audit question for the year, I need to give you an explanation about an influence that has impacted my life for the last couple of years. You probably heard about Dr. Stephen R. Covey, the author of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. There's another one, Principle-Centered Leadership, that I would recommend to you. Anyway, and he explained that there's a difference between management and leadership. He had a very powerful anecdote about people doing work as timber jacks in the woods, and he explained that it's the manager's task to do things right, and it's the leader's task to do the right things. What does that mean? Well, as a manager, you can always be very effective in managing practical things, day-to-day tasks like cutting wood, for example, in his story. As a leader, you have to make major decisions on the whole landscape. Is it the right paradigm? Is it actually the right forest? That's what he explains in his anecdote, where the leader climbs up the tree and suddenly realizes wrong forest. And if it is the wrong forest, well, what sense does it make to be effective in cutting wood? Keep that in mind. In 2025, many people in my current environment try to be of help by giving me ideas how to earn money, because from their perspective, they identified that my main issue was a lack of income. Well, Boris, how are you going to go back to income? The thing is, well, I'm 56 years old. My main issue is not the lack of income. Of course, I need income. Everyone needs income, but I have had income for all my life, and I can get income any day. But I'm not seeking a job. What does that mean? Well, I climbed up the tree and looked from the bird view perspective and asked myself, well, which one is the right forest? And then you climb back down and you manage the tasks and you be effective as a manager. But as a leader, you have to make that choice first. And recapturing all the things that I remember, looking in my box, my toolboxes, looking at all the resources I had built the years before, I asked myself, well, what's your main skill, Boris? What's the thing that you can use most effectively for the last half of your life? The main skill is leadership. That's what I developed over the years. I have impacted quite a few lives. I have impacted quite a few entrepreneurial CVs and careers. I have led and managed hundreds of people in the past. Leverage is an issue. I have learned to make decisions. I can make 100 decisions on purpose by choice every day if I want to. I can change the course of my life, any aspect, by 180 degrees in a split second if I want to. The question is, and I could commit to make that change in that same second. And that is a skill. I have trained that for many, many years. The question is, and that's from top of that tree, the question is, do I want to make that change, and why do I want to make that change? Do I want to make this a goal, and why do I want to make this a goal? I mentioned the other day that I think in 10-year horizons. Again, I'm in my mid-50s, 10 years I'll be in my mid-60s, that's about the same age, isn't it, in a way? And you can change anything in a 10-year time period. That's what I learned by Brian Tracy. You set your 10-year goals, and Tony Robbins was the one who taught me many people overestimate what can be done in a short period of time, and they underestimate what can be achieved over 10 years, over a few years span on long term. I've learned that, and I'm using that. I climbed up the tree and I decided, well, I am a force for good, I am a leader, and that's the approach I'm going to use. So I'm going to lead to results rather than work on results myself. How I'm going to do that, I will show you in different other video drops. But in that sense, I went and looked back on my driving force, on my 10-year goals. What is Boris 2034? And then I set up some goals for 2026. And what I changed here in Florence, I set up an operating system for 2026 that includes leadership first and AI first, because that's what I learned in 2025 up on that tree. That is major important for myself. Whenever you cross that line to 2026, whether it's in a few hours or when you're in the US, it'll be a few hours later, ask yourself, is it the right forest that I'm working in? And how am I going to make 2026 a masterpiece in my 10-year horizon? All the best to you. Enjoy the night. Have a great new year, and I'll talk to you then.